Mine looks janky, but hopefully yours is clean. You're live on YouTube, youtube.com/whiskey untitled, EY untitled, UNTITLED. All right, so welcome to another episode of the Whiskey Untitled. I think we're live now, so hopefully you didn't hear me singing like an idiot just 5 seconds ago. Basically, on today's show, we're going to be talking about mezcal, the greatest drink that you guys have never talked about. Just kidding, Cinco de Mayo, or everybody's been telling me it's Cinco de Drinko. But yeah, so
May the 5th be with you.
Mezcal,
Revenge of the
May
5th, man.
5th be with you. Or Revenge of the 5th. That's what it's supposed to be. May the 4th be with you. So anyways, we're going to be talking today about whiskey education, whether or not you guys are getting enough of it, how you like it, and whether or not we can do better as Instagrammers, YouTubers, and whatnot. And if you're still sticking around here at the 40-second mark, you are doing great. Let's go ahead and start. It was a long intro, but people did get some sing-song. So
yeah, fair enough. Hey, Dolph, what's up, man? What's happening?
Yeah, this
yeah.
really is mezcal, and it really is delicious.
No,
this is the best mezcal that there is.
That was your post today, wasn't it?
Yes, this mezcal is $60 for a 375. It's also $70 for a.
And wow, my thing got
750, but I can't
janked
find
up today. That's what happens when you don't freaking stream for a week. Your face goes crazy.
So
there you go.
So delicious. It is the best tasting mezcal. Here's why. Since Charles was taking his time,
Yeah, go for it.
I'm already telling you what's in my glass. So Ilegal mezcal. This is the one that's over a year. The Este Añejo. It's super fruity, tastes good, but it's also got like smoked agave because they smoke it. That's what makes it mezcal.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's absolutely delicious. Also, side note, mezcal is made in 8 states in Mexico and is the overall branch of basically Mexican whiskey because tequila is like bourbon, where it's not all whiskey. It's just made in 5 states of the 8 states in Mexico where they can make mezcal. So tequila is actually a type of mezcal.
Oh, I always thought it was the other way around.
Nah.
I thought tequila was a branch and was a tree, and then mezcal was a branch.
That's why
education.
You have to do your educational research.
But to be honest, I actually do want to get into mezcals because people do say that it's a good switch over from whiskey. Same kind of.
Denver recommended me like 5 of them. I bought 4 of them, and I like 1 of them, and it wasn't one he recommended.
Ouch. Denver, man, step up your game, bro. Come on.
What's up, Votary? So far, that's how that's going. It's not because they're not good. They
don't appeal to you.
I think I just got lucky with Ilegal. Like the flavor profile is baller,
yeah,
and the other ones are just falling really short. So
that is what it is, right?
Yeah, I got the Del Maguey, the Espolon, a bunch of stuff that people recommended. It's all right.
Each their own.
But this Ilegal, I've bought 3 bottles of so far.
Ooh, that's good. For me, it is my dark side bottle because I have been very busy at work, so I haven't been able to take a photo. But this will be my photo for today. It is what I think the Darksiders would drink because I went sherry yesterday, and now I'm going with a PX sherry peated. So
you're saying Darksiders because it's the Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah, Revenge of the 5th, man.
Revenge of the 5th.
Everyone. So I get annoyed because I am I would say a medium-sized, not height, Star Wars nerd. But so that's why when May 4th comes around, May the 4th be with you kind of thing. It's supposed to be more alliance-based holiday, Star Wars alliance-based, and then Revenge of the 5th comes in, and that's when it becomes a Mexican
takes over.
A Mexican, Darth Vader. So Cinco de Mayo.
What if there was a Mexican Darth Vader? Yeah. Mexican Darth Vader pinata. That'd be sick.
That would be pretty cool.
The Lefroy is excellent. It's all right.
I enjoy it.
It's excellent.
It mutes down the peat, which is what I enjoy. Plus, it gives me that sherry spices I need. So I'm pretty much in tune with that.
2 things. 1.
Yeah.
500,000 people, aka 500,000 people on the planet, are actually registered as Jedi for religion. I know, and we won't get into the argument about whether or not midichlorians are actual small things.
Are you sure they're not like Scientologists? They're actually.
Yeah, we're not going to get it like Phaetons.
Yeah,
we're not going to get into that. But I'm pretty sure that's not what somebody on the dark side would drink. I'm pretty sure they would drink the most obvious answer, which would be Brooklady Black Cards.
That's more like witches.
That's fine by me. What's the difference between a Jedi and a witch? Did they both not make things levitate?
I don't know.
Did they both not control things with their voice? Think about that.
I don't know. Think they control things with their voice. I don't think witches control things with their voice.
No. You never saw Rey like unleash these jackals.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about witches in general.
Witches, you can tell they're witches because they float,
They
right?
float, yeah,
Because
because the
ducks are
ducks.
light
Yeah,
and wood.
I got you. I know what you're talking
Anyways, so
about.
the show is supposed to be about whiskey education. Voters laughing. That got me laughing. Anyways, so it's
Oh,
supposed to be
wait,
about
wait, wait, no,
whiskey
no, no, no,
education.
no. Hold on, hold on.
Let me guess. Is it a whiskey show?
Yeah, but do you have any bottles? Did you get
No, I
anything?
didn't buy any new bottles.
All right, so I
I
think
still have bottles I haven't opened. I'm
I do have
literally
some
looking at
bottles
three
coming
bottles right
in, so I don't have any bottles, but there was a crazy, crazy Scotch Malt Whiskey Society drop. 20 bottles, man. 20 different types of bottles. So hopefully some of you
Wait,
guys
they
got
have
some.
20 different. There was nothing left when I got on
That's
there
what's
earlier.
funny,
Not
man.
nothing, but
The
anything
first
that I was interested in was
the
gone.
first hour, 6 of them were sold out.
At 60 bottles each.
Yeah. Some of them had like more.
Holy monkey.
The ones that lingered were definitely the coastal ones, besides the Velociraptor Xenomorph, and a lot of the grain kind of started to dwindle. I didn't check.
Also, I want to see that fight.
That would I think the alien would kick the shit out of the
I think, yeah, no,
Velociraptor.
the Velociraptor does not have a
Yeah.
chance. It's a regular life form that formed on Earth and is old.
Yeah, in my head I'm like
For a
that's
reason.
like, oh well, no, like Godzilla,
Still want to see it
King
because when that
Kong would be
mouth
cool.
comes out and it sticks the Velociraptor in the brain and implants.
It'd probably have
his
to be a
little
pack
baby,
of Velociraptors, and then a
I don't think they'd
queen
have a chance.
Xenomorph maybe.
Mm.
I don't know.
Mm.
Anyway, so that was really exciting. So it was a lot of bottles, and this kind of tees up to those. The question today was about talking about education, because I know the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society are doing a weekly outturn with Ben and Jenna on the bottles. So they talk about the bottles and some of the history on that. Then they do a Friday show that breaks them down. I was on a show on Sunday with Wonderback, who talked about barrel aging and different types of barrels. There's been an Abelauer off.
We're getting back on topic. Don't worry.
Yeah. No, this is all the educational things I've been seeing. Abelauer do a weekly show, but it's more lightheartedness, not about the whiskey.
I was definitely driving in my car when my alarm for Hour went off today.
What else have you seen? Oh, Bren did one where they did a cocktail, like mixing things with their cocktails, which was kind of fun.
That was more mixology than anything
Yeah.
else. What have you guys seen? Have you guys seen stuff all over Instagram, right? And all over Facebook and everywhere?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like more of them. But I don't know if you've been approached, but I know I've been approached to be like, hey, why don't we do something?
Collab.
Yeah, and I'm like, what do people want? And I always go back to our time in Scotland where I was getting an education firsthand from a distiller or a brand rep or an ambassador, whatever you want to call it. But when you have that one-to-one connection, like, well, I don't want to say one-to-one because it's a group of people, but like you have the ability to ask questions of anything you want. What do you do, right?
Yeah, I mean, you ask the best questions that you could think of.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Like, what's your opinion on these things?
education?
Yeah, just like, because it's becoming more of a bigger thing now. Everyone's doing it on YouTube Live or
think it's
streams or.
temporary. I think it's like anything else, right? There's waxing and waning. You have to be really careful. You have to look for people who are consistent and are going to stick around. Those people are the ones you can continue to follow, and that's what people do, right?
Yeah.
Like I've told you this for years now. Consistency, like is super key. But I think a lot of these brand ambassadors, these brands that are coming up with these, like, hey, let's do a show about this. I think this is all going to end as soon as people are like, hey, we can go back outside. I'm going to the beach. I don't need to take my phone with me. I'm going to enjoy the beach. I think it'll change a lot once everybody can leave the house again, like regular people.
And this is where I'm like,
except for those of us who've been working the whole time.
yeah, but like in my head, like, I think you're more introverted than I am, but like, I don't mind that online connection. That's kind of why we're in Instagram land, right?
So to
And
me,
YouTube
it's
land.
almost like, yeah. So here's the over analytical introvert, right?
Yeah.
It's too temporary. This is a fix for people who need that human connection. And there are other ways to get that, I think, that are healthier and not like temporary, or maybe people just need it to be temporary. Maybe that's what they want. But to me, like, I feel like whiskey education and whiskey in general is more like a long-term relationship and less like,
Okay.
oh, I'm bored, so let's booty call. Or you can call it Zoom call if you want.
Yeah, no, like, so, and that's where you have to try to distinguish between, do you want to hit the masses, like everybody and their mother, or do you want to focus on the people that care about the product, care about the whiskey, and
So it's
educate
always
them?
been a mix of both, right? It's always been a mix of both. So the people who are the masses want to go to your event because they're getting free booze, they're getting free cocktails, they're getting free this, free that. They are going there because you said this is free, and maybe they might convert, right? But
Yeah.
odds are they probably won't. The people that are already converted are the people who are like, I like this thing and I want to know as much as I can about it. And I think that's
And I think
I
that's a small
almost so,
percentage, right?
of course it's definitely a small percentage because like we become brand ambassadors and other stuff, right? That's naturally where we
Yeah.
want to go and gravitate to. But at the same time, somebody has to take all of that information that they're getting and then bring it to everybody else to be like, hey guys, if you kind of just want to dip your toes into it, but you're not like looking to jump, but you're also not looking for free stuff, you just want to know a little more.
Yeah.
Here's some more, and then those people, if they're curious enough, they'll go further. If they're not, they won't. Um, like what Scotch Voter you're saying, local distilleries are going Zoom tasting happy hour and mixology events. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that. Seems like it's just across the board.
I think it's everyone's just trying to do happy hours just because they want to have that bar atmosphere and whatever. But I'm like, it's so hard to do on a call because it's basically one earphone, right? Because then everyone starts talking above each other and
yeah, especially if it's like the Zoom where it automatically goes to the person who's talking.
yeah.
Or like I saw one lady, she chimed in, she had a baby on the Bren call and it kept zooming back to her. And I'm like, just because her baby's, talking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's weird. Like,
well,
why? There should be a way to like change that.
There is on Zoom. So I guess I didn't tell you.
I ended up setting it so it was just Allison.
Yeah, I set up as like the wall of the world where it's a bunch of people. So
on your phone?
Yeah, you can. I don't know if you can do it on your phone.
Can do it on your phone. I tried to figure out some kind of way to do that, but PC people could. I was conducting virtual tasting.
I could see that as like a local thing.
Funny,
yeah.
So there's Maryland. What's it called? Maryland Whiskey Club. They're doing the same thing. Old Line. They got a Bruichladdich rep in last week.
Yeah, for me, I'm thinking, Kevin, that's more of like a club atmosphere, right? Like people in a club, they're more in tune to what it's going to be. Whereas in the Zooms, the YouTubes, the Instagrams are going to be like, hey, I can reach this group, like a group of non-whiskey drinkers and whiskey drinkers. And
do you think brands are thinking that though? Do you think they're thinking?
I don't think they're thinking at all. No, this is me being honest. I don't think they're thinking at all.
You think they're just bored?
No, I think they're just like, we're paying our brand ambassadors this much money to give a good outlook, right?
Oh, so they better be doing something.
So they should be doing something. And what's the best way to do it is like, hey, you have Instagram, you have YouTube, you push it out there, because that's
the thing though.
And to be honest, this is just my opinion, right? This is
no. I'm feeling out what you're saying because I like what you're saying because like. But the thing is, so you have social media people who are more responsible for making sure the social media stuff gets done. And then you also have brand ambassadors who have to live in this world between social media and like physical tasting events because they have to go physically do stuff because that's their job.
Their job is an event manager, I would call it, like an event manager.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them have to do on-prem sales too on top of all that.
Yeah.
So like they have a lot of other work that's not related to Instagram, and then you have people like us who are Instagrammers and YouTubers who are like literally dedicating our spare time just to that.
Yeah.
And so in terms of like people who are supposed to be doing this craft, you can't expect somebody who's also planning live events, who's also doing on-prem sales, on-prem like upkeep. You can't expect them to also do the same level and commitment to social media.
And that's where I think the marketing is totally different, right? So if I'm a brand right now, and this is just me thinking back in the past, right? Like it was TV spots, it was in magazine spots. That was your main source, right? Then it became more the social world where your sales reps are now also your brand ambassadors, right? They're selling product on-prem, plus they're doing educations, and they're giving a +1, which is, hey, bar, you can buy our case, and we'll send our brand ambassador to educate you on that case for your bar staff or your patrons, right? But now, since you can't do that anymore, you're focused more on like, now we just need education and get myself out there, because once this coronavirus goes away and we go back to normal, we want to be the first thing that comes onto their mind. When they go to a bar, we want them to use our name and say, we want a Glenfiddich this or Balvenie that or whatever.
Oh my gosh, we're not doing education at all. We're talking about marketing, but like top of mind.
But that's what it is, right? That's education is marketing.
No.
So, and this is where like your mind is different. Our minds are different from what they're doing, because we want to learn, because we want to appreciate the product more. And I think there's a lot of people that want to do this, right? But for salespeople and marketing dollars,
I think that's actually a ruse. Like I think marketers think they're more effective than they are.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because
I agree.
Because of like,
and I work for a company that does that.
They think they're doing a lot of things where they're making sales, but like some things won't help. Like I know there's a lot of technology in I know a shoe company called Nike, right? There's a lot of technology in it, but you can't convince me to buy any of their shoes right now because to me they're 700% ugly. They don't make a shoe that looks like a regular
And
shoe
they sell out
that a
in
boring
like 10
person can
minutes.
wear. Correct, but they own Vans and I buy Vans, so
They don't own
I
Vans, they own
buy the
Converse,
boring
but
shoe.
okay.
Oh right, Converse, which
Yes,
the
similar.
competition.
Yes.
But like no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so it depends on your market, right? Always.
Yeah.
So like, if you tell me if you go to okay, we can I compare whiskey to watches just real quick?
Hey man,
I
this
mean,
is
I'm
our
literally
show. We can do whatever we want and let the chat say if they don't want to hear about it, they don't want to hear
so
about it.
everybody in chat, like, what is a when you think of movies and you think of whiskey, you think of like, oh, this is a popular movie and it's gonna have whiskey in it. What whiskey do you think of? Because for me personally, I think of like
So,
either Johnny Walker Blue or
Lost
Macallan.
in
There
Translation,
aren't a whole
Hibiki.
lot of Hibiki, yeah, the one time for Suntory time. There aren't a whole lot of movies where you have like dedicated. All right, we need people to see this, so they're always shoving certain types of whiskey in your face, and so you always see that. So that's going to be top of mind.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that that's like the whiskey you're going to be going after. But for a lot of people, if they're just trying to impress other people around them, they'll just buy. Oh, I saw Johnny Walker Blue. I know that's what I want to get.
Yes.
It's just like watches. Like somebody with a Rolex Submariner on their wrist, somebody's going to be like, oh my god, they have a Rolex. But then the guy standing next to them with Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, they're it was a $50,000
But
watch.
a watch person would.
Watch exactly. So I think in marketing, if your audience is smaller and more niche and knows more specifically about what it is, those are the people that you really want to market to and educate. Those are people that want to be educated. Those aren't people that just want to look good, right?
And this is,
if you were talking about like Enneagrams, like type 3 people
yeah,
just want to look like they're successful.
and in my mind right now, it's you have
TV shows fine.
you have a direct link between your consumer or your educated consumer or your passionate consumer and your brand. And in my mind, I'm like, that's what I would be doing right now. I understand the bar staff and the bar people, like they need that stuff, and that I know that the Oregon Bar Guild's been bringing guests over and stuff like that. But they're talking more about what's going to happen after the corona. Price is going to increase, our cocktail's going to be used, so on and so forth. But right now, you have a direct line into the living rooms, the cell phones, whatever, and you have people that can educate, like, because they're technically not at bars, and you can dive into the science of things, like why barrels are used and so on. You want to say something?
But they're not. I would argue that I would just argue that
I know that
even
that's
though
why.
right now they have like a direct line to people's houses, nobody's utilizing
Hey,
it in that.
if you're a brand and you're watching us, come talk to us. We have ideas.
I don't think anybody's using it in that manner. Like, if anything, what you'd want to do is like what you just said before, which is collab with people who do what we do all the time, which is literally talk to people directly into the living rooms, and then work with those people to get your message out because you're trying to say something.
And that's where.
But the problem is, like, even those people, like,
Yes,
it depends on which one you're talking about. Like, I know some of us can be bought, and some of us you could pay me $1 million, and I'm still gonna be like.
See, and this is where I was like, I don't even think it's a thing, right? Like for us, I understand that brands want to use our influence, and like I don't even have a large influence, right? A large community, but you do know that the community is either photography or whiskey based. It's like one of the two, right? For us, so
Or if it's Instagram, you're gonna photography is a given.
yeah, so
Everything else is just a niche.
you got a niche passion for whiskey for us, right? And then I'll give you the example of Highland Park. I was 50-50 on Highland Park. Like, I didn't mind it. I liked their stuff. Okay. But when we went there, I personally fell in love. I don't know about you, but like I fell in love with the area. I fell in love with the people, the brand, and so on. So that's what I think they should be doing, is making people fall in love. Like, hey, you like this? Like, hey, we're doing our 12-year-old to 18-year-old. Most likely you have it at home. And then we're going to bring our master distiller to talk to you about it. And then here's a list of questions that you guys submitted a week before or whatever. He's prepared it all. He's got the stills behind him or something, or her, and he's telling you this and that, and like all those weird nuances, like.
So I think you just glossed over something that I think was even more important than what you're saying right now. What's up, Cody?
Go for it.
Hey, Cody. You fell in love with everything else in Orkney, right? The people, the atmosphere, and everything else. I think if these brands were really smart right now, I don't think in a time like this where people are feeling a lot of negativity from the news, a lot of like non-positivity, right? Because a lot of things are just like there are a lot of neutral things too, but there's a lot more negative saying negative things instead of positive things. Like I read an article today that the coronavirus, they've been testing it and it's weaker now than it's been this entire time. And like which is a super good thing, but nobody's reporting it except for like 2 newspapers. And I was like, why is
Or is it
this a thing?
legit? But yeah.
Why aren't we trying to like push the positive? And because it's going to get better, right? We're going to get through this.
Yes.
That's the reality of all this. And so, you know, I think taking advantage of that and the positivity that's available right now and doing something like, okay, we're a whiskey brand and we'd love to show you our whiskey, which you could buy anytime and talk to our brand ambassadors about, which you can reach out to directly on Instagram because that's what it's for.
Yeah.
But instead, we're going to show you today part of our island, or
Yeah.
we're going to show you today the city that we're in. You know, we're going to show you Elgin because we're
Or
Glenmore,
or you can just be like, hey, this is our barrel room. This is where we do our distilling. If you could smell right now, it could be this. And
no, I'm talking about making that connection outside of the passion that you already have for it. Like,
I think that's
because
I think that's a bit.
I think those little things that you don't know that like your whiskey brand brings to the table that surprise you when you go there. I think that's what we should.
I think that's what tourism boards should be doing, but I don't think the brand should be doing.
Maybe tourism boards can pay for it, but
Yeah.
I mean, if I was a whiskey brand, I'd bring all that together, and then at the end of your little tour,
Yeah.
you bring it back to the distillery and share a jam with the people who are watching.
Yes, because what I feel is what's happening right now is a lot of people are doing the tasting thing, right? Like, hey, this is what I have, this is what it tastes like, and I think YouTubers do that.
A lot of people don't even want to,
Yeah, I think people have done that already.
a lot of people don't even want to go to their house and go buy the whiskeys, and then they have to like because I have to. I'm not gonna lie, the Bren one, I was like, I'm not gonna go out and buy a few. Was it Widow Jane and like 2 other things to make cocktails? I have a couple of ingredients at home already. I'm not making a special trip for this. Like that's just not how it's going to work.
And that's why I think a
Oh,
lot of things are doing that right now.
oh, we should totally do that for Whiskey Untitled. We should build cocktail kits and mail them out to our Patreons, and then do an episode where we build cocktails because building cocktails is fun.
You might
Mostly
have to
because I love
start
open
pushing that because like I'm not a big. So this is where like I was talking to the Oregon Bar Guild and they're mentioning how like cocktails like pre-made cocktails because they want to get work and so on. I'm just not talented enough.
No.
I'm
For pre-made stuff, that's what I'm talking about. Like we can make stuff like that. No, I go to places like Jack Rose because I want to know that these violet bitters.
Yeah.
I came in early to work today so I can make these violet bitters from scratch, and that's what you're enjoying in your cocktail.
Yeah.
I love that. But for the regular home person,
Yeah.
like there's something that you just need to have on hand and know so that you can put, just even if it's just an old fashioned or Manhattan together.
Because like I know a lot of people will be like, oh, well, we're going to be better cooks now and better bartenders and whatever. But I'm like, I still rather pay that extra, $5 or whatever for a professional to make because they know. And the humidity, the flavors, like different types of like it makes a big difference if you don't think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, I'm good on that part. But this is where I feel like I think it's a great idea. Like imagine Glenfiddich right now opening up their Instagram and being like, hey, we're here at our historical home. Here's our bar. This is where we do stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Like that stuff and getting to know the brand, getting to know those people. And I bet, some people are still working right now. They're still pushing the barrels out.
Absolutely.
They're still distilling. And it'll just be cool to get an insight in that because one, it gives the jobs for those people, the marketing people, whatever. Plus, it allows people to go into that place and be like, oh, I wish I was in Scotland right now for Spirit of Speyside, but yeah.
Kevin's right about that.
No, I agree, Kevin, but like, imagine you guy with a YouTube, or a freaking phone right now going there,
walking around, and then showing you like here's.
Hey,
the plots
Jane, this is yours. Like.
Oh, that'd be sick. You could have somebody with a paper with like the names of the people who have like these plots of land. Like, let's go walk out some of these and like, oh, this is so and so, and then just like shout some people out. That'd be sick.
Yeah. So like, this is what I think people need because that one, it's positive. 2, it brings your brand into the forefront. It makes people enjoy it, and then plus it makes people more like, hey, let's go visit that plot or let's go see that place that X, Y, and Z said that it was a thing that they did.
It's more personal. It makes your brand a person.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want it to be personal.
Because I just feel as though this education stuff that's happening right now, it's more like I'm just basically doing what I used to do, but now instead of in a bar, I'm doing it in my home. Like I'm just, hey, let's taste this. It tastes like this. I'm like, after a while, I'm like, I'm good. I've tasted your whole lineup. I don't need someone to tell me what it tastes like.
I do think they should publish the feed though, and not just stories which die, and not just like these special videos they do, or like at least like Instagram TV or something where it can be permanent.
So Zoom can record, and I was on one last week, and they recorded it, so then they can, for people that couldn't make it, here it goes.
Okay, because that to me makes even more sense, because then it's like historical, and it actually can help more people later. It doesn't have to be, but I'm thinking specifically from a distillery standpoint, because if you're going to spend the time, effort to show people these things at your distillery, you might as well show everybody forever.
I
YouTube
think
it.
Welsh Toro's in the whiskey industry. How are you guys
Just
doing
not
it,
you.
man? How are you guys doing social media stuff, or are you guys even doing social media stuff to reach out to the people that are home? It'd be interesting to know.
Wait, who's Walsh working for?
I think he works for one of the brands that you don't like. I think
There's a brand that I don't like. What?
that you fell out of love with. Um, but yeah, no, like,
Okay.
and this is where like I don't know if I should reach out or we should reach out, but like it just makes total sense in our minds. But for them, it's more like I just need to get enough heads or people to see this so that I can go back to my normal work.
It's more
Maybe
than
it's a different
just-
person. Well, sorry.
No, just kidding. That's the thing is like it's more than just yes, you're selling whiskey. Yes, you're trying to make the whiskey fun and exciting by having cool events or whatever. But at the end of the day, when I have to sit down and talk to Tracy, at the end of the day, when I have to sit down and talk to Mr. Darcy from McAllen, or like literally a couple of emails that I sent back and forth with area manager that they have here, like at the end of the day, I know that person. Like,
Yeah.
yes, the brand, I'll feel one way or another about it. The whiskeys will get good, they'll get worse. They'll get good, they'll get worse. Every brand's going to do this, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the people behind all of it, those people, like, will not change. Those are still people that you can be friends with.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that's what I'm saying. Like, making it more personal and making it more Mr. Darcy. Yeah. So the McAllen brand ambassador for DC is named James Darcy. No joke. Everybody just calls him Mr. Darcy. I think he's Mr. Darcy on Instagram too.
But yeah, no, like,
yeah, like-
and that's where I'm like, I think it was the first 2 weeks when people got really serious about the whole virus and stuff like that. We saw a huge influx of all these Instagram streams. Like, I mean,
Yeah, it was
a
nonstop.
bajillion. Now I'm only getting maybe one or two, like in a row.
It's back to normal. I think people are starting to get stir crazy and they don't want to sit and watch a screen now. They want to go outside and go to the beach. It's May,
Yeah, and that's why I feel as though that this is a time where you can go out with your cell phone. You don't even have to have a fancy camera anymore, man. You get your cell phone out, and it can be janky as hell, but people would appreciate it because it's raw, it's real, and it makes you try to connect. And I understand that a lot of these brands.
A lot of brands think about that.
I think some brands are like, it's curated, right? You can see their posts; it's all curated and stuff like that, and they don't want to mess
because
that up.
Because those brands hire a different marketing team. They'll delete everything on the Instagram. That marketing team will come in, do their feed their way, and then next week, marketing team B is doing it.
Yeah.
Next month, whatever. Like, that's how these big brands work. But at the same time, like, it makes them look good.
Damn, Cody got
but
those
it
wasps.
doesn't bring people down to reality.
Yeah. No, it's
The outside right now.
allergies.
You too?
Allergies.
Oh, me too. Oof.
Oh, awesome, man. Well, no,
You get negative for antibodies? I'm surprised.
Kevin, that sucks, but hey, at least you don't have it. So
Yeah. I'd rather test positive for the antibodies though.
same.
Just get it over.
But yeah,
with.
no.
At this point,
And then kind of going past, swerving a little bit. You did have a show with your brother last week, I think it was.
yeah, we did cast strength versus non.
Yeah, and I'm like, I was surprised that when I was trying to search for more stuff, I couldn't find that many people talking about it.
Did you see the larceny video?
There was a separate larceny video.
So we did larceny in that video.
Yeah, larceny, Tamdu, and McAllen.
Larceny regular, and we couldn't taste the difference between the two.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
where I'm like,
It was amazing.
on the nose, I bet you could smell. Like, you could smell the
On the
difference.
nose, it seemed like one might be a little more astringent, but tasting them, just completely different flavors. It didn't taste like a 65% whiskey and a 40% whiskey.
Yeah.
It tasted like whiskey A and whiskey B.
So, and this is just like, you don't have to do it. I'm not your teacher, but homework, guys. If you guys could, and post it on Instagram, I think we'll both repost it. If you guys could do a side-by-side comparison between a cast strength and something from the same brand, I think it would be pretty cool to see what people have out there. Because
Yeah. I think people would be surprised if they do it blind. If somebody else pours it for you
Yeah.
and you don't get to try the two, especially when you're doing a couple of different ones, it's really difficult to tell.
Because I thought it was fun, because I kind of called your McAllen one with your brother. It was either the Grand Reserva or the number 4. Was the two things I was thinking that you tossed in there. But no, it was interesting, and we didn't get to go to. We went to Tamdu, right? I really wish we did a real tour.
We went there, but they weren't open.
I really wish-
they were only open for Spirit of
Which is
Space Side,
now.
and we went there like the day after.
Yeah.
Well, which is canceled right
Hey, Kevin, if you enjoy the homework, man, I'm just saying.
now. That's what you get.
But yeah, post on Instagram, tag both of us. We'll repost it and stuff like that, and we'll even talk to you. And
Have
stuff.
somebody else pour for you blind though, and really sit down and try cast strength versus non.
'Cause I think I'm-
Don't do a bourbon. Do a Scotch.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do
Something that's
that.
got a little more complexity and age to it.
I think I know what I'm going to do, so I'll probably do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, hope you guys are doing well. I hope this is. I know this is more of like a side chat because I know I've definitely been thinking about it. I know Wally and I have been kind of chatting about it once in a while when playing Call of Duty and stuff like that. So just wanted to see if like how do you guys feel about the education stuff? Is it too much? I've been hearing from bar people it's way too much. They can't see them all, and sometimes it's not educational enough. So that's from their lens, but from us, like I want to fall in love with your brand. Like that's what I want to do. Like I love whiskey in general, but having that extra thing behind it, like Anok, where the Swedish guys were swimming in his worm tubs.
All you have to do is be Bruce Gordon and remember me and my brother from 2 years
Yeah,
ago at Anok. That
yeah,
was amazing. How's your brother doing?
yeah.
What?
That's what I'm saying. Like
You
just
remember
that
me?
stuff is just the funnest thing ever. Going around Glen Rothis and stuff like that. It's just
That was sick.
you want to fall in love with the brands, and I think we're all open to falling in love with whiskey. So I just wish people were using that time, this time right now, the perfect time to reach out through the screens and trying to help people out. So sucks.
And next week on the Whiskey Entitled, we're going to talk about why 12-year-olds are the perfect way to get started on your whiskey adventure.
12-year-old whiskey.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Did I not say that? God, not like that.
Photo.
Oh, for me, it was a bottle kill. So this was the last time I illegal, and I know I'm going to go spend another $60 to buy another
Another
375.
one? That's not bad. $60 pretty good.
For a 375, it's $70 for the
Oh wait,
750, but
375?
nobody ever has it. Correct.
And that's not.
It's
Is it sipping or what?
but it's that good. Oh, it's a sipper.
All right, guys. Let's see if I know how to do this again because we were off yesterday because of that guy. Last week. Deuces.